I offer you an accord.
That's your podcast on the second monitor, and Dorfromantic on the main one, creating these cool miniature worlds, ones you wish you could have built as a kid. This is the game for it. Picture the vacant streets of Shibuya, nighttime, very ominous. An open world with an emphasis on verticality, and you could finger ghosts? Let's do it.
Neon.
This game really makes you feel like a speedrunner. You trim down a 1 minute run to 45 seconds, then 30, then 20. It's an addicting gameplay loop. You got a colorful cast of characters and a very interesting setup to the story. Yeah, check this one out. Cool monster designs. Some interesting abilities that made battling more than just rock, paper, scissors. An actual challenge throughout the whole game, especially on boss fights. None of that, oh, the last 10% of the game is tough. I'm looking at you, Pokemon. But yeah, Coromon, good job.
Good day for us. Well done. Now go.
You got gorgeous animation, great boss fights as always. Probably also has my favorite boss fight in the entire game. I mean, really look at this transition in between phases. And that's the Cuphead DLC, the perfect dessert to the great original game. Now, there was a multiplayer game last year that I felt was a nice, innovative step forward for the genre. A game that I feel has proven it's a strong contender coming into 2023. And that game is...
Oh, let's break it down!
And yeah, I know. This was only an open beta last year. But hey, if a mode in Fortnite made people's top 10s last year, then this could make mine too. I really enjoyed its high-octane, fast-paced matches. They're usually under 5 minutes and it's fun, solo or in a group. The character abilities really have an impact. They got like a kick to them, especially when you wanna, bam, knock someone out of the stadium. And there's plenty of characters, my favorites being X and Juliet. Obviously because they're the most scrappy. I had a ton of fun just going full Super Smash Bros. On their asses. It's coming out later this month, so go check it out. This game feels like it shouldn't exist. It feels like the Sonic Adventure 3 from another universe, another timeline. It would have been a nice evolution and step forward from Sonic Adventure 2 back in the GameCube days. Adding multiple playable characters they could swap to with the press of a button. I also enjoyed its approach to levels where there's enough exploration there, but it also kind of flows well if you want to just speed through it. Fun ideas like this mech battle stage, which honestly could have been a game in its own. That final boss fight too, whew, gave me Kingdom Hearts 2 vibes. And it's one of the few games that I can use as Scythe, so that's always a plus. All in all, great time playing it, and check it out if you like the old Sonic Adventure games. Steam Next Fest is a great way to find hidden gems, and this is the one I found this year. It's just pure platforming, I wouldn't say perfection, but it's great. It's a great combination of wacky antics with an eerie, spooky atmosphere. It's not necessarily a scary game, but it definitely keeps you on your toes, which I really love. There's different levels like a museum, an aquarium, a Wild West town, and the level design really lends itself to either good platforming or goofy, funny situations, or a creepy moment lurking around the corner. And it's all wrapped up nicely with a great soundtrack. Yeah, get your wacky, but also creepy platforming fix here.
Turtle power! Just a minute. Radical! Party, dude! Let's kick some shell!
This game does the impossible and brings people back together for some good old-fashioned couch co-op. My siblings and I played it all in one sitting. Takes less than 3 hours to beat, but damn, were they some of the best 3 hours of my 2022. They had me smiling, laughing the whole time that my face was hurting by the end of it. You can have up to 6 people playing at once, and we're also getting the animated film soon. Cowabunga, dudes. Jeez. There were two really good FMV games this year, and one of those was Immortality. You are tasked to find out what happened to the main actress Marissa by going through all of the footage of the 3 films she starred in, but for one reason or another, never released. You match cut your way through various scenes, script reads, and interviews. You slowly begin to unravel its layers upon layers, when suddenly you're hit harder than Chris Rock on Oscars night. Seriously, I got chills when it happened. It wasn't exactly a twist, it was more of a reveal. And I could go on and on about the great acting and all the films being pretty damn interesting on their own. But it's a game you simply have to try for yourself. It won't click with everyone, but for those select few, you'll know this is the one.
You're all red in the face.
Yeah. Hope I get a bite. You're mine! All right.
Thank you for your business.
A game that I would even rate a 7.5, nothing higher than that. It's good, not great. But wow, am I really hooked on this game? Like, really hooked. I've played similar games before, like Harvest Moon, a couple of Story of Seasons games, Rune Factory 4, and even Stardew Valley, and I bounced off of all of those pretty early on. But something clicked with this one. I like how every aspect of the game feeds into each other. You'll do farming, of course, to earn money, to get better gear to fight tougher foes, and while fighting, you could tame some of the monsters, which they can help with farming, and then farming also feeds into cooking, and so on and so on. Honestly, that's only scratching the surface. Really, the point of the game is to just go at your own pace. The combat is simple, but there's a wide variety of weapons you can use, each with their own distinct movesets. Also, this game is maximum dopamine. You'll be leveling up your stats through the craziest ways. Oh, I just leveled up chemistry by eating bread. Now I'm littering to level up my throwing stat. I believe farming is a good way to level up fishing, and I leveled up bathing by going to the onsen with the bros. I could go on and on, but maybe I'll make a review once I'm done with the game. Rune Factory 5. It's a very laid back and jolly time. I'm here to say, as a Sonic fan my whole life, that it's okay. It's genuinely okay to like Sonic games. There's this weird stigma where people can't fathom the idea of a good 3D Sonic game. I'm not saying it's the second coming of Christ, but it's genuinely a good game. Some would say even great game, like myself. It's obviously not perfect, like the random floating railings that look off-putting, or the boss fights sometimes look kinda jank. But it feels great to run across fields or wide open spaces as Sonic. I would say still, Sonic Adventure 2 is the best overall 3D Sonic game, and Sonic Unleashed has the best levels in the whole series. But Frontiers is definitely a great step forward for the franchise, and I heard this will be the template for future Sonic games. So I'm really excited to see what Sonic Team has in store for us in the future.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes.
Give us a tiny bell, that is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before.
I'm sure you'll make the right decisions.
Solutions to move this series.
It ends today.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
What's with the crazy, high-quality FMV games this year? Just like Immortality, Not For Broadcast is very unique in its presentation and gameplay mechanics. You can find a more in-depth look at it in my review. But something I didn't mention in the review is how I played this game about 3 times back-to-back, because of just how much I really enjoyed its mechanics and wanted to see the different endings. 14 different endings, and I've only unlocked 3. What put this game over Immortality for me is how much I really cared about one of the characters and his outcome. His slow and gradual escalation was built up really well for the small amount of time he was on screen. And as a video editor, I never thought about going into this line of work, but damn was it really fun. And we just got a spooky DLC and VR. Definitely playing those. And here's hoping for a sequel too.
And that seems to be like the perfect place to end Act 1 on a bit of a high. So I'll tell you what, why don't you grab a drink, sit back, enjoy the adverts, and we'll see you after this. What are you doing?
I am setting up for the Act 2.
I haven't finished talking. After the adverts, we'll see you back then.
I've been living in a paradise.
Man, I didn't know I would get so invested in this game. I got so invested in Andreas, the main character. I loved not only how he develops over time, but also the townspeople. After making a bit of progress in the story, I would make sure to check in on the town again, because usually there would be a good chunk of new dialogue. I should probably mention the basic story premise too. Basically, you follow Andreas, an aspiring artist who is new to the town of Tassings and begins to work there. Suddenly a murder happens, and since your best friend's the one being accused, you decide to investigate, and the plot really starts to roll from there, with other mysteries and conspiracies starting to surface. Time is a big factor in this game, and you'll quickly realize you can't do everything, and this game does a really good job putting you in Andreas' shoes, if you allow it. You feel what he feels, from empathy to regret, and so many other emotions as the story develops. And when the credits rolled, I thought to myself, man, I'm really not going to see these characters again. That book is closed, shut, and I feel this emptiness inside. And when a game can do that, you know you have something truly special. This game was unavoidable. Everyone was playing it, and every single one of them had their own personal adventure. Some people fought the tree sentinel the second they went outside. Others went to the castle to fight Margaret underleveled. You could have gone any single direction, and it was correct. Personally, I went behind the place he came out from, and immediately ran into a dragon I was sorely underleveled for. And that's the fun part. Your own personalized adventure you were treading the way to. The boys and I were all in Discord playing at the same time, and we were all doing something different. I also had multiple streamers on the side, and they were all doing something different. It's the best form of exploration, where you're rewarded for your curiosity. Carefully crafted areas, with the players in mind. Is something too tough? Well, turn around and come back to it later. The weapon variety is amazing too. Hear me out. Scythe representation in video games is so scarce, but thankfully in this one, I could use not only one, but two if I wanted to. I'll end this with a small experience that I won't forget. Early into the game, I'm out exploring, and I hear this bell off in the distance. Curious, I follow the sound, and that's when I run into this massive beast treading slowly, each step making the giant bell underneath it ring. I sat there in awe, just admiring the creature. Then I see a hut in the distance. I go to it, and this NPC there is selling a variety of items. One of them catches my eye, and it's a small little parchment that says it'll tell me how to take down the beast. There was no quest, nothing. Through my curiosity and exploration, I found this. I also bought this little lantern that you can wear on your waist, and that helped a ton throughout the game. That's another little thing that isn't explained at all, but through your exploration, you figure things out on your own. I'm sure that I missed a ton of other things, and hey, that's the fun part. Elden Ring, man. What an incredible game that I doubt we'll get anything like it anytime soon. And that's 2022. Incredible year, especially for indie games. We're almost halfway through 2023 and we've already gotten some bangers. A couple I believe are already locked for top 5, but you never know in the video game industry. Here's to another great year in video games, and adios, see you next time. Hopefully I finish 2023's list much earlier.